All right, and we're live. Awesome, guys. Well, let me sit up. Let's see who's on here. Well, it is taking a minute. Well, we're about 2 minutes early, so hopefully some people show up. But for all those that are going to watch this later, today we're going to talk about ICAST 2019 and what you expected and what you got. There was a lot of interesting products brought out this year, and a lot of products that I think fell short, and well, a few products that fell short, but there were some products out there that were really interesting, and of course, the one that stole the entire show, the Hobie PA. So we'll see who gets on here, and yeah, see if they want to chat. If not, then I'll kind of continue on after about like maybe another like 3 or 4 minutes. But hopefully we get some people on here to talk about what they liked about the show and what they didn't like, and we'll just go from there. But I do have a few products that I do want to talk about, and either the ingenuity of it or the lack of effort coming into the show. So I don't know what, but this is this is my temporary office for everybody that knows that I'm working on my office downstairs. This is a temporary one. It just has my desk, my computer, and then I'm working on the desk for my big office, and we're working on getting that all cleaned up and looking good. But it's still got a ways to go, probably another couple months uh, for the desk, because I've got a half a tree in my garage, and yeah, and I still got to wait for that to dry a little bit more before I can cut it and build the actual desk so it doesn't get messed up later on down the road. But yeah, hopefully eventually it'll get moved down there and we can start using that office. Also, I've been working on trying to get my big camera up for my main live stream camera, because I plan to do these on a regular basis, at least once or twice, or once every week or every 2 weeks. So once I get my nice desk and my nice, background, the background's already done. It's just a palette wall. But once I get that finished, it'll look a lot nicer than just a chair in the background and crap on the floor. But let's see if people show up to this. Ugh. And if you're wondering why I'm wearing headphones, it's because I'm talking into this mic and I need to hear myself. And I can't hear myself through the computer. And if I try to do that, then it gets a lot of feedback. And it's just, I know it looks kind of weird, but hey, whatever. At least I can hear myself and make sure that you can hear me. Well, it's been about 4.5 minutes and not a single person is on. So that's interesting. I guess nobody wants to talk to me tonight. Haha. But we'll start this video, and if nobody watches it, then it'll get played later on. I also didn't put on Instagram or Facebook until like maybe like 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock this afternoon. So we'll see what's going on. Ooh, what is this? Oh, power pole. Power pole is 20 years. 20 years for power pole. That's amazing. That technology has helped so many people, um, and even in the kayak industry. Um, I still don't own one. I use a manual stakeout pole, and I probably will for the next forever, unless Power Pole wants to, sponsor me, then I might use one. But I'm not going out and buying a $800 pole to stick in the ground to stop my kayak. I've got a $60 pole. Yeah. So, all right. Well, we're about 6 minutes into this, so we're gonna start this off. Um, there was a lot of hype around a lot of products at ICAST, ICAST this year, and one of the products that I have pulled up right here on my computer that I didn't know was coming out, and I had no idea, had never heard anything about it. And I do use one of this company's products. It is the Angler button, and if you've never used this button before, it is a great tool. I mean, they pretty much make an annual log. You just press a button, and it takes weather conditions, weather barometric pressure, any kind of weather change, and time of day, location. It takes all that and it just puts it in a log for you. Well, they decided to put it in the butt end of a rod. Two problems with that. One, how many people are going to remember to press a button on the bottom of their rod? Not very likely. They catch a fish, they put the rod down, take the fish off, throw the fish back. As per putting it on your hat. Great idea, right? Because you could adjust your hat. Oh, hey, there's a button there. Okay, remember it. Or like most kayakers do, they put it on their PFD. That way it's just right there. Just press the button, done, right? Other problem is the life expectancy of it. Does it unscrew from the butt end of the rod so you can change the battery? Or once you buy that rod, are you just out an angler button now and you have to go buy a new one? And you're only going to sell one of these rods per person, right? If you normally, you know, go to somebody, they've pretty much got a couple of rods from the same company, mainly the same line, because they kind of, like me personally, I want all my rods to look the same. I want them to be the exact same series, exact same color. I don't know what it is with my OCD, but I want it to all look the same. So I'm not going to go buy 6 of these rods and have 6 different angler buttons. Now you could, and just maybe use one, I guess, and wait till one of them dies and then use another button. But that's not likely. It is a cool concept though, and hopefully you can unscrew the butt end of the rod and replace a battery. So let's go down the list now. Oh, yep. See, the rod does not require charging and delivers a 2-year battery life. It works regardless of cell service for off the grid fishing. 2 years. 2 years. That's all that rod's gonna last you. I've had rods that still work, and I've had them for 3 years, 4 years. So then what? Now I'm out of a button. So yeah, there you go. On the other end of the spectrum, we have the Hobie Pro Angler 360. Now, I paddle a Hobie, and for everybody that doesn't paddle a Hobie, well, you're probably not excited or as excited as me. So, but Hobie came out with the 180 drive last year. Basically, it's pull cables, and you can go forward and backwards. That's all cool, except for the Gen 1. Yeah, the Gen 1 Mirage Drive 180 had an issue. People were yanking on these dang cables and they were breaking them and having to replace them. Oh, hey, look, we got somebody. But Welcome, whoever you are. I'm glad you showed up because I've been talking to myself for 10 minutes. But no, I'm talking about the Hobie 360, and basically the issue that came up last year was the cables were um, breaking on people because they were just yanking them, and they solved that issue by kind of making a little bit stouter cables on the Gen 2 ones, but people were still breaking them off, and they had to tell people multiple times, "Hey, it's a slow pull, not a yank. Don't yank them." Well, this year, instead of just making another drive that just goes forward and backwards, they made the 360 drive. And the 360 drive allows you to go 360 degrees. You can go any way you want. As long as you're pedaling it, it'll go back and forth. Now, it also still has the rudder control. It kind of acts like a jet ski almost, you know? You can turn the handles as much as you want, but you're not turning anywhere unless you give it the throttle. Same thing with this. You're not going to go sideways just by turning the fin sideways. You have to actually pedal to go sideways, which is pretty, I mean, it's pretty good. It's still good, in my opinion. I like it. But so, yeah, they came out with that. And now the big issue that everybody's throwing around is for the price tag for the PA14 360 is $47.99. With tax, that's about $5,000. So, would you rather buy a John boat or a used boat or buy a kayak that you can pedal? That's a big question. And I think what everybody's kind of misconstruing from Hobie's $5,000 kayak is this kayak is built for those people that specifically want to fish out of a kayak. I would love to have a boat, take my family out, you know, but at the same time, I am a kayak fisherman. I will forever be a kayak fisherman. And yeah, so for me, that price tag, it really doesn't matter. It's just like it's just like a boat angler. You buy a 2018 Skeeter, and 2019 model comes out and it's $10,000 more because there's some new thing on it. Well, he's going to pay that $10,000 to buy that newer boat when he wants. Just like kayak anglers. So there is a market for it, and I think a lot of people kind of, they say, "Oh, it's $5,000. I'd never spend that on a kayak." Well, there's people that will because they're i- invested into the sport, and then there's people that are just content with what they have, and that's okay too. So, but that was a big issue, not an issue, but a hitting point with people as far as the kayak. Now, um, on the topic of kayaks, we have the Vibe Shearwater kayak. Let me tell you about this one. I'm kind of impressed and kind of disappointed. And the reason I'm disappointed is I think they should have waited till next year to show this. And the only reason that I wish they would have waited, because I think it would have been a lot cooler if it was 100% complete. Now, most of the stuff at ICAST isn't always complete. It's about 90% there. This kayak, not even 90% there. So, when they originally announced that they were coming out with the Shearwater, they said their initial promotion video was end game. It was going to end the game for kayak fishing. No. First of all, no, it's not. I believe if there's anybody in the sport or industry that's going to end the kayak fishing game right now, Hobie, no bias at all, but Hobie is the front leader for that, first of all. second of all, if you're gonna announce an in-game kayak, right? You might want to bring a at least completed kayak to the table. Now, don't get me wrong, the kayak looks amazing. It looks cool shit. But it's supposed to be able to paddle. It's supposed to be able to pedal, and it's supposed to be able to take a motor. The only problem with this is they showed up to ICAST with the rudder system connected to the pedals. All right. No handles on the boat for steering at all. I went back and watched another review of it. I probably watched about 4 reviews of this kayak. Only one review said, "We have a spot for handles. We just don't have the parts for them." So, how are you going to bring a product to the biggest showcase for fishing industry have anything to indicate in-game product? I wish I had a picture of it pulled up somewhere, but I mean, the boat itself looks amazing. The functionality of the boat, not so much there. I wish they would have just, you could have made some crap ass handles for all I care. And we all know that it's still in a prototype. And most of everything in ICAST is a prototype. There's still, most of these products don't come out till mid to late 2020. A few of the products that we found out probably earlier this year come out at the end of this year or the beginning of next year. But if you're going to bring a product, make sure it has somewhat all the pieces to it. I like the design. I like the hull. It looks pretty cool. It looks like a stealth boat. Really, like if you look at the front of that boat, it looks like a military stealth boat. It looks pretty cool. And I like the color of it too. But poor planning on releasing this boat without all the pieces there. But I mean, it looks like a good affordable boat for people to buy. So trust me, there's a lot of people that'll buy it, and it'll be interesting to see. I didn't see the drive to it either. So I didn't see the pedal drive. I'd like to see that. But we'll see. We'll see when it comes out next year. All right. On to the next one. And by all means, whoever you are, if you're just in here listening, then that's cool. If you have a product that you liked or didn't like, let me know in the comments. Let's go. I'm just gonna kind of going through the best of show, kind of, and some other products. Not necessarily all best of show. If you're into kayak fishing, while we're on the topic of kayaks, Bonafide came out with some pretty cool kayaks. From what I heard, a lot of them were sold to dealers, maybe already. I don't know, but yeah, they made 4 colors. They made the BK25, the Fusion, the Tiki, and the Black Widow. Yeah, I would say out of the 4 of those, my favorite is the Fusion, just because I like lime green. And it's the only 2-tone Bonafide that's made also. So I'm pretty sure that one will probably go the fastest. The Black Widow, I like it. I like black kayaks. I think the Mayfly was awesome in the black color that they did. A lot of people speculated that black kayaks, middle of summer fishing, not they don't go together well. I think it's just fine. The tiki one looks pretty interesting, although I'm not a fan of the sky blue. Although the contrasting colors they did with the kind of wood look and the sky blue color were pretty cool. I think those colors contrasted really well. The BK25 is a military style um, kayak looking kayak design. Um, I think they really did pretty good on that color scheme as well. I was pretty disappointed though that they didn't have anything brand new to show besides the colors. I think that was a lot to do with um, them just coming out, and I mean they took kayaking paddle kayaks by storm. Basically, when they came out, everybody wanted one, which was awesome. I think they invested a lot more time in the Yak Attack products, though, for ICAST this year. And from what I've read or what I've seen, they're kind of going towards the style of accessories that are like kind of, but not really. They're still using the balls, the ball mount, but they've designed the ball mount so it's not just a straight sphere or ball. It's not a smooth ball. It's kind of got angles cut into it that when you lock it down, it's supposed to hold better. But I'm still not a fan of the ball mounts. Their rod holder that they came out with last year, I think, that's pretty cool. Anything with teeth, interlocking teeth, I think is probably the the uh, the best bet for kayak accessories. Let's see here. The Shimano SLX DC bait casting reel. Now, when I first saw this, I was like, that's cool. Price point's good. Why not? I was talking to my buddy Rob the other day about it, and I was like, man, they just came out with this. That's pretty cool. And he was like, yeah, they've had that for a while. And I went back and looked, and they have had the Shimano SLX for a while now. And they just put the DC components into it. So it's not as good. Well, I mean, it's Shimano quality, but the quality between that and the Corrado, which is like $60-$70 price point difference, right? It's there. It's you get what you pay for. So I think it retails for $189.99. Pretty awesome. I'd like to buy one and see how it works. See if it has the same smooth casting and drag system comparable price point to the Corrado DC, which I have two of. So that'll be interesting to see, to actually get my hand and see. There was a big, huge kind of deal about this dang spider, and I wish I could find more on it. But basically, it's a frog with legs, like spider legs, and it works the same as a frog. But I would like to be able to read more into that and talk about it more. Oh, here we go. Another product that I was kind of iffy about. The Plano Edge tackle box. It won Best of Show for tackle management. I think they copied Bass Mafia a little bit, which any company that, well, nowadays it's kind of hard to have an original idea when it comes to fishing and this big industry, because a lot of people do the same thing. And I would say probably 25% of the entire industry does something unique. But basically, their new tackle system is a bunch of tackle boxes. I don't think they don't look it at least, but I like to try them out. They don't look as indestructible as the Bass Mafia boxes, but they may be. The only thing I don't like, which I think a lot more tackle box makers like Flambeau and Plano, they're going to these boxes that you can slide in to the tackle box. So if you have hooks, weights, beads, any nail weights, anything, you can put them into these little boxes and they slide into the tackle tray. Cool concept. By all means, cool concept. Hopefully they're not $60 or $70 like Bass Mafia. But I have a Bass Mafia box, and I have to say it's probably my favorite tackle box. Although I am a fan of Plano and their waterproof boxes, because I have a lot of those too. But if we could come up with an original idea once in a while. But yeah, so I'm still stuck on that kayak. I really like it, and I can't wait to get one, and my wife can't wait to get one either. Oh, let's see here. Ooh, so last year I was really into the St. Croix and Mojo bass rods. Great rods for the price point. I think I broke 2 of them while I had them. So there you go. If people always want to know how do you like those rods? Did you break any of them? Well, yeah, I broke them. I mean, I fish hard, and if you ask anybody that fishes with me, I break a lot of stuff. I'm really hard on my stuff. But so my review on them would be, you pretty much pay what you get for it, or you get what you pay for, right? So they're about $150 a piece. They're pretty light, and the sensitivity's okay on them. For the longest time, I was as a chatterbait rod, and I kind of had some good hookups on it, and I kind of didn't. One, because it was really flimsy on the end. It was really kind of light on the end, and the hooks on the chatterbaits were too big, and I really wasn't getting good hook penetration. So I changed to just a medium heavy rod, and I had better luck. Now, the Mojo Bass series has a glass rod. It's called the Rip and Chatter rod. So glad they made a chatterbait rod. So now people have that option. Obviously, I'm with ALX, and I love their rods way better. But that's just me personally. But yeah, so that's pretty cool that they came out with that. Pretty impressed. Let's see here for the boat anglers out there. If you watch my channel, if not, oh well. But I'm going to talk about it anyways. The trolling motor from Lowrance came out. Now, here's a problem: is a lot of these companies are working with other companies. So, like trolling motors companies are working with these fish finder companies, right? And they're integrating these fish finders, the transducers, into the motor mounts. Problem: what if I don't like Minn Kota? Okay, well, I'm not going to go with this certain. If I have one company that I like, or if I have a trolling motor company I like, and I have a fish finder company I like, and they don't have a motor, what am I going to do? Right? So kind of. I mean, it's cool, but at the same time, I think you're kind of narrowing yourself down when you do that. So I just assume, just make a better mount for your motor. You don't have to integrate it. Just make a better mount. I don't, yeah, I don't know what the whole big deal about that is. Mm, let's see here. Let's see here. Oh, the Freybill Magnum bait station is basically an ice chest for bait. Yeah, which is cool. They came out with something new, but yeah, it's basically a small ice chest. Speaking of ice chests, who would like to pay $80 for a lunchbox? Anybody? No? Okay, that's what I thought. Yeti is getting pretty ridiculous with their products. Although I do like them. I love some of their products, and I have a lot of their products. Well, I wouldn't say a lot, but I've got. I used to have two 25 quart, and I have a zip up one, and then I have a bunch of their cups. But that's about it. I don't have anything too ridiculously priced. Oh, this is something I am looking forward to seeing is the Hummingbird Mega 360 imaging. I do have a Hummingbird Helix 7 on my kayak with the side scan. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Uh, doesn't have the Mega though. I'd like to see the Mega like in person work. I know one of my buddies has one, Casey Reed, and I mean you can see some fish on that thing. On the smaller units that don't have Mega, it's kind of hard to pick out fish and what exactly is a fish and what exactly is a stick. But it's pretty cool. And then now that they brought that 360 imaging to it, that'll look pretty awesome, I think, anyways. So Shimano did win freshwater reel with the SLX DC. They won best of show with that. That's pretty cool. Let's see here. Dang, I've been on here 30 minutes already. I imagine everybody's out doing stuff more important than listening to me. So, hey, that's cool. I'm not mad. I'm just here to entertain some people. All right, we'll do two more products maybe, and then we'll do something interesting that I read today, which is pretty interesting. So, 13 fishing. Oh, hey, I know a lot of people hate the Googan Squad for their baits and stuff, but I was expecting to see them at ICAST, and I don't think they were. I don't think they were at there, and I'm trying to wait till they're trying to see um their crankbaits come out because they have some pretty cool looking crankbaits. But I have way more than enough, and I'm probably not going to buy any. But I do like their plastics. I like some of their plastics. They're pretty good. Um, there's two baits that I'm kind of interested to see. One I'm definitely buying, and the other one, well, we'll see how it does. But I don't think it got a lot of hype, and I just saw it today. It was so the first one is the 6 Sense. What was it called? The Axis crank. The Axis crank is a interesting, like I said, original. So that 20-25% of the industry that has that originality in it. 6th Sense is one of them, and it's pretty freaking awesome. And I just want to see how this bait works, but I imagine it works pretty cool. So it's a crankbait. It's a square bill crankbait, and the lip of the crankbait turns and moves independently of the body. It kind of pivots on the axis. And I just saw that today on Instagram, and I was like, mind blown, right? That guy over there that created 6th Sense is an inventor. I think he likes to tinker with stuff and see how everything works. And it's going to be pretty awesome. The second bait that I want to see, and I can't wait to buy, is the Storm Glide Bait. I've seen some pretty cool pictures of them. I like the paint schemes, and I've seen, and I have to say, I can't wait to buy one because it's going to be freaking awesome. Hopefully they're not sold out when they first come out. That would make me really sad. But anyways, all right, we're gonna end this with interesting news that I found out, and apparently this came out on July 11th. Let me read the headline. Rapala buys 49% stake in 13 Fishing. Interesting, right? So apparently, Rapala has bought 49% of the company's stake. I saw this and I was like, what? Like, you basically own 49% of the company now, huh? And I kept reading and I found out why they did it. And I think it's going to benefit 13 Fishing a lot. Just because they do ice fishing, bass fishing, and now they're starting to get into the bait market. So the reason behind this is they want to globally expand their company. And I don't think that 13 Fishing globally is as popular. But Rapala, which is worldwide, I don't know why they don't just call it Rapala Worldwide, right? Cool. Cool name. But I think they did that to kind of spread their product more around the world, which is cool. I think it'll benefit them a lot to buy 49% of the stakes in it or sell off 49% of it. I don't know. You're basically giving up half your stuff, but 13 Fishing does still, or from what I read, is still going to control everything inside the United States. Which, okay, cool. Good for you. You're basically giving your company international rights to sell your products. Okay, cool. Makes sense, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. But hopefully you like this little live chat. I know there's only one person in here with me, so you're basically listening to me to talk to myself. Yeah. If you're watching this later on, let me know down in the comments below. Hopefully a lot of people will just comment later. What was your favorite lure or your favorite product? I mean, what was your least favorite product? And which product kind of had your hopes up and let you down? And which product had your hopes up and it stayed up there? And then what do you think will come of next year's ICAST? I'm kind of interested myself, and I think I'm going to do a lot more research before next year's ICAST to see if you can, you can scour the internet for almost anything nowadays. See if we can find some sneak peeks of stuff that will be coming out next year. So, thanks for watching. Hit that like button. Please subscribe to the channel. I plan to do more of these, maybe once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks, depending on how much feedback this one gets, especially later on, because nobody came on except for one person. So thank you for coming back on. But all right, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.